upper Midwest. Am I right on that, Al?
As far as we know, Billy, I have nobody who ever contests it, so we'll just go with it till somebody does.
It's Minnesota here, but I said the entire upper Midwest.
Well, I think it's probably, I mean, we just haven't really looked around any further than that. That's probably correct what you said too. But,
yeah. But it is the oldest 4th of July celebration. We can safely say continuous celebration, right?
Continuous, that's probably what we base it on, annually for 124 years.
Isn't that amazing?
And next year, of course, is our big 125th. And well, if we're all here, God willing, and we'll go from there at that time.
Well, George Strait's retired now. I wonder if he'd come up here and do I Saw God Today on your main stage.
Well, if you can make the connections to me, I'll gladly, for him, I'll gladly ask him.
I'll be in Texas next week. Maybe I'll see if I can't look him up.
Do that. We appreciate that.
We'll see how that goes. I want to see George Strait. Why? I want to invite him to Minnesota. He's retired.
He probably doesn't know where it is.
Well, I'm sure he knows where Minnesota is. He's been here before. But anyway, we're here to talk about the North Morristown celebration on the 4th of July. There are a lot of area celebrations that are multi-day celebrations, but yours is all in one day. Al.
We squeeze it all in one day, and we have tried in the past couple day celebration where it come on a weekend or something, and it takes so much labor intense, and we just, as other celebrations, labor becomes an issue of volunteer labor, having time, and it was just too much. Plus, we're all getting older, and it made it a lot harder for us to do a 2-3 day celebration. And the other problem is, not a problem or a situation is that, it's near the church services, and sometimes on a weekend conflict. And but the biggest reason was we just didn't have the energy and labor as we got older to do it. So we squeeze it all in one day, and it is squeezed in, and it is a full-packed day.
Yes, it is. Lots of great entertainment. Again this year, of course, Monroe Crossing's making a return visit.
Monroe Crossing is our perennial musical anchor, as you might say. They've probably been there, I'm just guessing, 6-7 years now, and they've told us that it's one of their favorite things to do.
Well, they're one of my favorite Minnesota groups.
They really enjoy themselves. So we have a couple other groups, and we always keep them so far as a main group, and we have a couple different ones this year with them. And one is Bernie King and the Guilty Pleasures, and they're out of Minneapolis. Talking to Bernie just briefly on the telephone. He's from West Texas, so it'll be interesting to see how they are and what they perform. He came upon recommendations from Monroe Crossing, so that should help a lot. The other one on the main stage for bluegrass is called the Scally Lane. They're also from the northern part of the metro area. They are a trio in bluegrass, and they're not probably quite as sensational as Monroe Crossing, but still they're a nice little group. So those three will be on the main stage for bluegrass all day long. And let I remind everyone that our entertainment is free. And so I say this every year, even Monroe Crossing, you go anywhere else and you're going to pay a good 20 spot to see them for sure.
Yeah.
So and here they are free, and we sell our buttons during the day, and of course you can't win anything by them, but they're $2 this year, a larger button, and that helps to create costs of entertainment and so forth. So, but we also have what we call, I guess, bird houses or bluebird houses. There's 4 of them on the ground, and they are actually a little money slot on a post. So if you would feel so inclined, that was worth $20, you put a $20 in the box, and we use that money again to defray the cost.
No.
So we want to push that, and people are very responsive to that. So, and we want to keep encouraging that.
That's good. That's fantastic. Yeah, I always tell people the least you can do is buy a button, because you're not paying for parking and you're not paying for the terrific entertainment, as you said. Monroe Crossing.
And we do, but we do ask that. Yeah, it is free, but we do ask that you do not bring beverages in or food, because we do sell those items on the ground, and that's where a lot of our profits come from. So
Yeah, we're
just
gonna
like
talk-
every other celebration.
We're going to talk about the homemade pies and some of the other delicious goodies like real butter on your popcorn when AM Minnesota.
At 11.48 and a
Maybe
quarter.
rain-
July
rain
soybean
around
meal
the
is
rain.
$2.40
So-
higher at 394.80. July bean oil is down 9 points at 31.02. July corn is down 4 cents at 381 and a quarter. July wheat down 6 and a
You'll
half
have to
at
ask me what
437
you-
and 1/4. June live cattle
Lead me
87
into
cents higher at
what you want to,
117.95. The August
what we were
contract
talking
up
about.
$1.17 at 113.87. August feeders 305 higher 143.72. September's up 247. July lean hogs up 2 cents now 83.20. August is up 7 at 84 and a nickel. I'm Tom Stever on ground feed.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Again, your opening market report service of your KDHL Agri Boosters, including Northland Buildings for quality post-frame construction. Go to the website northlandbuildings.com. AM Minnesota today, Al Spitzack is with us. He's the general chairperson of the 124th annual July 4th celebration in North Morristown. Once again, we'll be broadcasting the patriotic program, which follows the parade. So I can't give you really an exact time. It depends on how long the parade is. This year, the patriotic program sponsors include Samaro Dairy, Ken and Jackie Bosey, Ed and Bev Schmidtke, and Al and Charles Spitzack. I want to thank those folks for allowing us to be able to broadcast that from the North Morristown 4th of July celebration. I think I've told you over the years, Al, it's one of the reasons why I love your celebration, because that is what the 4th is about, the patriotic program.
Yeah, we're trying to put, we try to keep the emphasis on that. Yeah, you're right. That's how we start the day off, and that is an important part of it. So, and don't forget to mention, on the parade, you have again volunteered so graciously to announce that parade.
Gee, I don't think people will come for that.
Well, I haven't
it's a
seen anybody
great
leave,
parade.
so that must
Well,
be,
that's true. Nobody
that's a
leaves
good thing. So.
that we're aware of.
So that's a good thing. Yeah, the parade starts after our flag raising at 9:45, and then the parade starts at 10. And the patriotic program, as you stated earlier, follows the parade, and it's basically the same length every year. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, but basically the same time frame. Around maybe 11 o'clock, people could kind of figure in there somewhere. Patriotic program usually lasts half hour. And our guest speaker this year is Pastor or Chaplain John Meyer, and he has some connections here in the Faribault area. In the summer of the family of the Summers, he's married into one of the daughters there. So he's the guest speaker, and he's got an Army chaplain, and we have the posting of the colors, flag, and so forth. And of course, you'll be broadcasting it on KDHL to area, and I think that's really probably quite important. I'm not in that situation myself, but I would assume people who can't come,
For sure, nursing homes.
and maybe did in the past because of health reasons, now they can't. I would assume they would, some are hopefully listening to it.
Oh yeah.
And maybe bring back a few memories, good memories, and collections of what they had in the past there, and hopefully it's beneficial to them. That's the reason why we do that. And I think it's a well worth project we do. So.
Yep, and they get a chance to hear the patriotic program. Unfortunately, we can't give them a piece of homemade pie.
And I think I know somebody who likes, especially blueberry pie.
Boy, you guys have every kind of pie imaginable. Last year I tried a strawberry rhubarb that was really good.
All the pies are homemade by local women, and I better say men, because
sure.
I don't know who makes the pies, but they're all made locally, and I serve a lot of pies, and they are all very good. There's very few, if ever, that I know go to waste. They're usually all sold. Sometimes they sell out quite early.
Yeah, well, some of your best flavors sell out really early. I remember a couple of years ago I didn't get a piece of blueberry pie because they were out by the end of the patriotic program.
Well, I personally know if after doing all these years with you that blueberry is your favorite.
And I usually get one before.
We try to reserve one for you. I go over and make a special
I didn't know
effort.
that.
Yes,
Well,
I
thank
say
you, Al.
save Gordy a
Very
piece
nice.
of blueberry pie. Put it on the shelf, shoo the flies off, and save it for Gordy.
No, I love blueberry pie. But I like trying different pies too, and the strawberry rhubarb was excellent.
It does have a lot of different flavors there. You know, pie is, kind of, I suppose, a mundane subject. We just talk about pies.
It's
Well,
about as
everybody knows
American
about
as it
pies.
gets, isn't it?
Right, but these pies are very good, and they're got a special touch with the people who make them. And along with the ice cream, we have some really good ice cream out there. We take special effort to not just get run-of-mill stuff, but really good quality ice cream. And the gentleman that runs that does a good job with that. So ice cream and pie, and they're side by side.
Well, I do like putting ice cream on my blueberry pie.
And they do go well together. So yeah, those are big, especially when you got Monroe Crossing and the Bluegrass, which is only 50 feet away. You can run over there, get yourself whatever you want, run right back to your seat and enjoy the music.
In fact, I prefer ice cream on my blueberry pie to whipped cream.
I would agree with that. I think we can handle that as well.
Now, on my strawberry pie, I like whipped cream.
Real whipped cream, I would assume.
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree with that also, but whipped cream is hard to keep fresh and looking good.
No, I understand that.
But it's kind of in the same category as buttered popcorn, which you don't find very often.
Real butter.
Real butter, yes.
Real butter. The bag is moist.
The bag is moist.
Which is the way it should be.
Right.
Now I realize it's probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but once a year, really?
Well, eating pie would not be the healthiest thing every day in your year, probably. So it falls in the same category. It's great food, tastes good, and enjoy the celebration, like you say, and the freedom of America and what we're celebrating there. So.
Well, I'm trying to think how many times a year I have pie.
Well, that's up to you. And we're just glad you have it when you come out to our place.
No, I know. But I was just trying to think of how many times I probably have pie a year. And I might average a piece a month.
But you're still here. Must be good for you.
A piece or two of pie a month. Yeah. Who doesn't like pie?
I agree.
I'm not a big cake guy. You like cake?
I'm not a big cake person. No.
Okay.
But I will eat pie, but ice cream is my favorite.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You have a favorite flavor?
Yes, I do. Maple nut.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not always easy to find.
Do you have that out at the...
Yes, I do.
Of course.
I think Kenny probably has, I'm just guessing, and it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, but he probably has at least 10, 12 flavors. At least. So.
Now, if you like onion rings, folks, they have terrific onion rings out of North Morristown.
We have onion rings, French fries, and the onion rings are good. And again, I may remind everybody that our food, a lot of times you go to a carnival setting or, the food is jacked up pretty high. And we, of course, we're there not to give it away, but we are there to make a profit. We also keep in mind when we do that, that this is a very family-oriented celebration.
Yep.
And we encourage you to bring your kids and your grandkids and great-grandkids here because they will have fun. So we try to keep the foods and the prices of things down in their budget so they can enjoy the celebration and the food as well.
Yeah, you have lots of kids' games. It's kind of like taking a step back in time to see some of the games here that were probably played decades ago.
They were played, and I'm not going to say how old I am, but a long time ago when I was there. And they're still, actually, I may use a word ridiculously cheap, but that's what it's all about. So the kids enjoy it, and some adults enjoy it. Kids' rides are really, really cheap and inexpensive. I'll say, don't say cheap, but inexpensive, and they have a great time doing that. So.
And you get people from literally all over the world to attend your celebration. I know you've had some folks from overseas that have visited.
Every year somebody shows up. I wouldn't be so brave to say that they flew all the way over for us, but they are in the area,
yeah.
And they take us in, and we appreciate that. So yeah, and I'm sure this year there will be somebody there from some foreign country. So, do you want me to go through the rest of the schedule now, or?
Why, sure. Now,
okay.
Before we get to that, though, a lot of countries don't have parades. They don't know what a parade is.
A parade is really, like you had said earlier, is Americana. I mean, people in America like parades, and I think it has something to do with our ability to like or not like a parade, a freedom to choose to go or not go, and to pay homage to our flag and to our patriotism and and that's what the celebration is all about. So, and I think that's part of what people like about parades. It is part of American.
The event kicks off actually with a Firecracker 5K run and walk. Is this something new?
That is new this year, and that's taken care of by an alumni person. And the contact number's on the post there. And you can go on Facebook. You can go on the website, which is trinity.northmorristown.org. And you can get all that type of information on there. That is new. As far as I know, we have about 50 to 60 entrants so far. So that's a run-walk thing. If you want to run a little bit and then walk the rest of the way, or walk the whole thing, or do whatever you want, that's what it is. It's something new this year, and we're looking forward to having that. That starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Probably will be all done before the really heavy traffic comes for the parade.
Yep, they're more and more popular.
Yep, and we have the silent auction or theme basket area, and that has a lot of different items in it. Some of the few that are in it is antique post office chair, and a 5.5-foot sculptured bear, sculptured by a chainsaw, a handcrafted 4-foot lawn ornament, sunflower, and a boys and girls bike and trike. And those are just some of the few items that are in there, and that goes to 1 o'clock. And you can put your bid in. Some items are cash items. The other thing, there are other going. Volleyball tournament usually goes on. Volleyball is not as popular as a few years back, but there's still a few people want to play it. And we have our flag raising, as I mentioned earlier, 9:45, and the parade. And this year I wanted to fail to mention the patriotic program is pretty much as it has been in the past. Last year we recognized World War II vets, and we just acknowledge them there, get their name and service, and if they want to say something, fine. This year we're working on the Korean War vets, so we should have a few more people for that, and we will recognize them. Medallion hunt will be there again. You must have a button. You can participate without a button, but if you win and find it, you're not going to get as much money.
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck. Jolly Huntsman Band, I guess they have become a perennial as a beer garden. They're an old-time music band, and they've been there quite a few years already. And I mentioned the Bernie King and the Monroe Crossing. There's bingo tossed in there to another building in the afternoon, and Downtown Sound locally from New Craig area. Very good group, and they've been becoming almost a perennial as well. They've been there 3-4 years. And our fireworks, I think, and I'm not biased to this at all, I'm being honest, I think is one of the best little fireworks in the area for what we display and what we spend. And the guy that does that does a fantastic job performing. Morristown Dam Days has the best dam, dam by, how do they say that, little dam by dam site or something, celebration. Well, we have
town by a dam site.
Yeah, we have the best, I think, little fireworks compared to, the Twin Cities and things that I think you'll find around, and it's very well done. So, and that's kind of our day. Our Grand Marshals this year, I failed to mention, were Bob and Arlene Mueller, and he is actually the parade chairman. Him and Arlene have run the parade for many years, but now it's their turn to ride in the parade and take what any accolades are given to him. So that goes on, and then when he's done with that, of course, he's going to go back to work. So.
Where's he work?
I mean, at the grounds, at the fort.
Oh, okay.
We don't let nobody gets notoriety status. You do your little thing for public, awareness, and then you got to go back to work when that's over with.
So tell us, how do you select your Grand Marshals?
Grand Marshals are selected every year at our annual meeting in February, and we don't use any written down criteria. They're just people that usually have been involved in the club and have not been obviously Grand Marshals before and are still alive. So that's about it.
So who do you think is North Morristown's most famous ever resident?
I don't know if we have anybody that I can think of offhand.
I mean, by that I mean they could have lived there and then moved to Nashville and become a country music star or something.
Well, that could have happened, but I'm not aware of it. We certainly could have been there. We've had, we get what we can there as far as entertainment, So I don't think of anybody locally has been really famous.
The proceeds, of course, go to the Trinity Lutheran School.
Proceeds go to the Trinity Lutheran School. We are actually, I was explaining this to people so we know, we're actually called North Morristown Community Club. A lot of people get us confused with being a church celebration. We are not. We are North Morristown Community Club. Our sole function in life really is this celebration. That's about it. And we do support the school with the funds. Every once in a while we will support some other organization with some monies, but majority of it goes to the school.
Yeah. Al Spitzack is with us. He's the chairperson of the North Morristown 4th of July celebration, their 124th year. I know you don't want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, but you got anything big planned for 125?
125, it is on Tuesday. I think it again will be a one-day celebration, unless I'm wrong. Plans change. There are some things, history things working in there, but I've got a couple ideas, but nothing's been really put down and talked about. When we have our August meeting, we have a recap meeting, so to speak, of the celebration, anything went wrong, anything we could do better at, anything in the future we want to do, and that's where some ideas will start coming out.
You have some pictures from the earliest picnics?
Well, that'll be something for next year, and a couple of people...
they were called picnics for many years.
They were called picnics, yes, where you actually did, I think, bring food in. But there are a couple of people working on that, and if I can ask for pictures, anybody out there, the listening audience, has some old picture, it doesn't have to be of us, it can be of them, and if they were attending, some connection. We get them to us, and the person's Holly Melford and Juanita Kruger are taking care of that. And if you can email them the picture, and then they will copy it and send it back to you so you can keep it. And they are being put into some type of format. I'm not sure what it is yet. It may be a book form, it may be a CD form. I'm not quite sure how that's all going to turn out yet, but we're working on that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. The July 4th celebration in North Morristown. Remember, parking is absolutely free. There's no charge for parking.
There's no charge for parking. It's first come, first served. And we try to be honest with everybody. We are out rural. We are out in the country. Our roads are not 35W. There's not a lot of shoulders, so parking sometimes gets to be a premium at parking time. So be very patient. We have people out there helping you park and trying to do it in an organized fashion. So just be mindful that it is a small area, but we do take care of you. We will get you to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for it.
You don't have to pay for it, no.
So that's kind of the beauty of it. Again, we would encourage everyone to get a celebration button because that helps pay for Monroe Crossing, Bernie King and the Guilty Pleasures, the Scally Lane, is that how you say that?
Scally Lane, correct.
Downtown Sound, the fireworks display.
Jolly Huntsman.
Yeah, Jolly Huntsman. Everything helps pay for everything, and the buttons are only $2.
$2 this year. This is our first year of $2. We've been for years at $1.
Yeah.
And this year we're taking the big leap, and we went to $2.
Well, a lot of area celebrations at $3, $4, $5, $6.
Right.
So $2 is still more than reasonable.
Please support us, yes.
Well, you can't resist the food.
Can't resist the food. We sell lots and lots of food.
You have tacos in a bag.
We have tacos in a bag.
You mentioned the ice cream. We've mentioned the homemade pies, the onion rings. The French fries, I understand. I'm not a big French fry guy, but I guess they're pretty good.
French fries are very good, and they're right along in the food stand with the onion rings and the hamburgers and the hot dogs and
barbecue pork sandwiches.
Barbecue pork, that's in a little bit different area right next to us, but still in the same group. We sell a lot of hamburgers. We sell like 2,100 in that day. That's a lot of hamburgers.
It is a lot of hamburgers.
And we get people that do that work. It's hard work, sweaty work, hot work because we're over the grill, but we have good volunteers that do all this stuff, and we appreciate everybody's help. And if I may have time, I just wanted to say we have a lot of volunteers that do not belong to the club. And they just want to help because it is a community celebration, and they just enjoy helping and being part of it. Camp Omega sends 20, 30 people over to help. Different guys in the neighborhood. The fire department in Morristown is big supporters of the Legion in Morristown. A lot of people come just to work for the day, and it's actually a lot of camaraderie, and they actually have fun working because it's fun.
So you're getting a lot of help from Morristown in North Morristown.
We do. Yes, Morristown is very supportive of us. I don't want to say names because I'd miss somebody.
Right.
And I don't know the numbers, but there's a lot of people that come and help. They even bring their wives around to help. So, which is a good deal. So and a lot of them, I've asked them, why do you do this? It's a lot of work because we don't want it to see it fall. It's a community celebration. It's bringing a lot of people together for one event, and it puts not only North Morristown on the proverbial map, but as Morristown as well. And also I remind strangers that hear my voice, North Morristown is not a town. It is not a suburb of Morristown. It's just out in the country, a spot. So if you're coming out and never been there before and you're looking for a town, you'll miss us. So it's kind of follow your nose and follow the traffic that Morristown.
So it's not on GPS yourself?
Address is, you want me to give the address?
Sure.
The address is 10500 215th Street West. And that's on the website as well, Morristown, and GPS will get you there real quickly.
You do have great signage on the way to the event, I will say.
Yep. There's somebody that puts that out, takes care of that, and watch for the sign. If all else fails, I've said this in the past, just follow the traffic, because 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to lead you right there.
Yeah, no, it's always great. I always enjoy it. And I think a lot of folks in our area obviously do. I see a lot of the same faces, so they make it a ritual.
It's good to see there's a lot of the same faces. That means they're happy and they're coming back. But we also want to encourage, we like to see new people there. And we always have new people there, and we're glad they're there. And it's our job to make sure they come back and keep them happy during the day, and that the trip was well worth it, worth their effort.
Oh yeah, you'll enjoy it, folks. The neat thing about it is, of course, you're all on the grounds there. The grandkids, the kids
basically
can
you can let
play
them
games and stuff, and you don't have to worry about them.
Right. You always made, and you haven't mentioned it this year, you always said it was like Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, it really is.
Norman Rockwell setting.
Kind of reminds me of that, yes.
So that's what it's all about. So we're really happy to put it on again, and we're hoping and praying that.
Well, I'll see if I can look up George Strait when I'm in Texas, and we'll try and see if we can get him to come to the 125th North Morristown. I think that might bring a few extra people.
That might. God has blessed us through the years with just people in general, the celebration.
And good weather.
And
typically.
good weather, but sometimes it's not maybe to our liking, so we deal with it and we make it through it. So
a couple of years ago, it was brutally hot.
It was brutally hot, but we did survive. So.
Of course, because you have that freshly squeezed, delicious lemonade.
Yes.
Ooh, boy, that's
real lemonade.
Oh, yeah. So get on off, folks, to North Morristown on Monday and celebrate our nation's birth. It's the 124th year of the annual celebration in North Morristown. And again, we want to thank folks sponsoring our patriotic program broadcast, Alan and Charlotte Spitzack, Ed and Beth Schmidtke, Ken and Jackie Bosey, and the Samaro Dairy. Well, tomorrow we'll be talking about Elysium's 4th of July event. Friday we'll be broadcasting live from the Cannon Valley Fair in Cannon Falls, which of course goes on all weekend. Starts on Friday and ends on Monday as well. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHOAM in Faribault, Minnesota. Hope you can get out and make it a great day. Forecast for Monday, sunshine, 84.